Kakalosh Boker or Mishna Yomi. Shavuoto Masechet Avodah Zarah. Perek Bet Mishna Zayin and Perek Gimel Mishna Aleph. Perek Bet Mishna Zayin says Elu Meturim B'Chilya. These are the things which are permitted for eating, right? Chalav shechalvu avoid kochavim Yisrael lo. If the non-Jew is taking out the milk, but the Jew is watching him, that's called chalav Yisrael. Zot omelet sheYisrael roeh oto. Doesn't mean that the Yisrael has to milk the cow. HaYisrael roeh ma shekoreh. Right? He's seeing what's going on. Vadvash, honey, davdaniyot in the grape clusters. Ken, so to minute. No, 1 second. Right, even though they are dipping, right, dripping with their own juices. These grapes are not considered prepared tuma by a liquid. Meaning, remember that in order to be receptible for tuma, you need one of the 7 liquids to be there. So he says these things, even though they're dripping, it's not considered acceptable for tuma. Also, pickled foods such as vegetables, kosher fish, and meats, if they're the type of foods which they do not usually put wine or vinegar, no problem. Or tarit fish, which is not finely chopped, or tzir sheish badaga, or fish brine, which is usually the fish swimming inside of it, or alash shel chalitit, or zeitim v'gluskaot v'gulganin, or cakes of softened olives. Rabbi Yosef comes and he says, hashluchin asurim, olives that drop their pits, which means the pits fell out, are going to be prohibited, because we're going to assume that they became so soft that they soaked them in wine. Meaning, how do they come and they take the olives? They come and they make the olives. The olives at the beginning, they're rock hard. I don't know if you've ever seen the olives. The olives are very, very mod kashim. You have to soften them up. So how do you soften? You put them to pickle. So if you're going to put them in pickling in wine, so it's going to soften it up. But that means if the pits are going to fall out so easily, it means that maybe you put wine in it, and therefore that's why it was softened up. Hachagavim, grasshoppers, habayim asula asurim, that are coming from a basket are going to be prohibited. Min ha eftek mutarim, from the storage bin are going to be permitted. The same halacha applies to truma, which means in a basket of an untrustworthy kohen, which is being sold as chulin, is prohibited, because you are going to suspect that maybe it's truma and he's trying to sell it at a higher price of chulin. However, produce from a storage bin is going to be permitted. Meaning we're going to suspect, if you suspect that the kohen of foul play, so you have to be careful. Fine. Perek Gimel Mishna Aleph. Kol atzlamim asurim. Any sculptured image is asur. So the man אתה לא יכול לקחת שום צלם, שום דבר של צלם. מפני שאין עבדים פעם אחת בשנה, but even if they worship it once a year, these are the mean. חכמים אומרים, אין אסור לכל שיש בידו מקל או ציפור כדור. He said, no, it's only going to be forbidden an idol where basically it's going to have a staff, bird, or a ball in its hand. Because that's what it's meant to serve as an idol. So the minute, אם זה איזה משהו שיש לזה איזה staff, זה תמיד היה עם מקל, או כדור, right? Or he says, so all the ציפור, that's what Avodah Zarah is. Anything that's got in his hands is considered an idol.